Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low. I leaned back on my radio. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, that is all he said. Then the loud sound, it seemed to fade. Came back like a slow voice on a wave of fate. That weren't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie. Switch on the TV, we may pick him up on channel 2. Look out your window, I can see his light. If we can sparkle, he may land tonight. Don't tell your papa, or he'll get us locked up in flight. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie. Starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie.
as an ugly laughing man, like a hummingbird in silence, like the blood on my door. It's a generator. The shore, I've known it all alone, like the bone under my skin, like actors in a photograph, like paper in the wind. There's a hammer by the window, there's a knife on the floor, like turbines in darkness, like the blood on my door. It's the generator. Like the blood on my door. Wash me clean and I will run until I reach the shore. A new age of reason, brain treason to trick the mind. What good is searching if nothing's there to find? We arrive at this place of no return, my brothers, only to discover that our minds have led us away so far from the paper truth of who we are. What's right is wrong, what's come is gone, what's clear and pure is not so sure. All promises become a lie, all that's benign corrupts and died. All the come forth, bear witness. See the profit from your loss, beg for forgiveness. Only after you tally the cost. We arrive at this place of no return, my sisters, only to discover that our values right off the ground on the show in the sea of what we could be. What's right is wrong, what's come is gone, what's clear and pure is not so sure. All promises become a lie, all that's been right corrupts and died. All the pity for me. truth, it's also relative. Subservient in total one's perspective. Yeah. What's right is wrong, what's come is gone, what's clear and pure is not so sure. All promises become a lie, all that's been blind corrupts in time. Of epiphany, always failing me.
Now I think that was a triple shot. I think that was a triple shot of Bad Religion on Widdershins Radio.
Somewhere a few days ago, I think it was 6th and La Brea, they were playing a bunch of Bad Religion. I think they might have even
Played some of those songs that we play. Yeah. It was, I of course was loving the music selection there. All right, I'm just checking our microphone here. Hey, Widdershins.
Widdershins!
Radio for your spiritual side. A twisted approach to the left-hand path and all the paths between. We are clearly not your grandma's Wicca. And it occurs to me, from some of the messages we get, not everybody here at Widdershins is a witch or a magic user. And I just would wonder why and how you are here and what entertainment you derive from this. We tend to be speaking to witches and magicians and magic users as witches and magicians and magic users speak to each other and in those terms and stories that appeal to those kind of people. So I don't know, either you're just twisted somehow or maybe you're a witch. I don't know, maybe you don't even know.
I would total change of subject, but I am about this boat fire really close to home. So there was a fire off of a diving boat off the coast of the Santa Cruz Islands, which is over off the Ventura coast, which is about 2 hours north of here. And this diving boat had about 35 people in it, and somehow it caught on fire. They're still investigating how that happened. And anyway, most of the people were below deck. There was no escape hatch, and apparently even if there was an escape hatch, the fire was above the deck below, so even if there wasn't an escape hatch would have led to the fire. So anyway, all these people were trapped at like 3 a.m. They died. The only people they know of so far that survived were the crew. The crew saved themselves and jumped overboard. The crew was above deck. Apparently they were awake when the fire started. I mean, it really sucks, but I mean, what would you do? Like, if you're above deck and there's a fire and there's absolutely no way to get to the people trapped below the fire, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Obviously, you're gonna jump off.
I mean, I hope there was some sort of an alarm they sounded, or try to wake people up or something.
I don't know if there was even a point in waking people up. Like, there's literally no way to get out. Whether there's an escape hatch or no escape hatch, there's, like, the fire would be on top of, where the exit would be. So, I mean, unless they were supposed to have fire extinguishers and didn't have fire extinguishers, I really don't know how you could fault the crew. Like, what are you going to do? Just stand there and burn because people can't get out? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And this
so anyway,
boat was chartered out of our old hometown.
So I know somebody who knows one of the people who died. She was a diving instructor in Santa Cruz, where we used to live, and she actually chartered the boat. So it was this person and all of her clients, supposedly, who were on this ship and boat and died. I really don't know if there's anything that could have been done, except, whatever led to the fire in the first place, probably could have been prevented, but
it was a scuba boat, so after the fire started, it started exploding.
It was a boat for diving, which is what I'm saying. I through a intermediary party, I know somebody who knew the person who chartered the boat in the first place, and it was for a Labor Day weekend of diving off the Santa Cruz Islands, like not far from here. Ventura is kind of by Santa Barbara.
Santa Cruz Islands aren't near Santa Cruz.
I keep getting posts on my social media about, more and more people I know who knew somebody who died.
Yeah, it was a small town. There was at least 2 from Santa Cruz, from a school that we know of that died.
High school in Santa Cruz. So there were at least 2 minors. I know one person was celebrating her 17th birthday. That might have been one of the students from that school. And so, yeah, they're mostly Santa Cruz and Bay Area people. And they're going to figure out what happened. They have identified 30 people. I think there's 9 left that they haven't found. Either I don't know if they're missing or if they're under the boat or what happened, but they're gonna have to use DNA to ID these people. And it's just this really horrifying thing. Mike, you were reading that they didn't actually die from smoke inhalation. They died because they were literally being burned, which I think I would imagine is worse than dying of smoke inhalation.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done the autopsies to find out the cause of death, but the bodies were badly burned. A lot of them, beyond recognition.
Well, they were trapped. They were trapped in the lower deck of the boat. Apparently, that's where all the beds were, and it was 3 a.m, so people were sleeping, and they couldn't get out. So I don't know if they slept through it or what.
Yeah. And then we got, what's this hurricane called? Do you know the name? Dorian. Hurricane Dorian that still might be threatening parts of, Florida and Georgia and other places.
It's lingering right over the Bahamas. And it's since been downgraded to a Category 3, which, I've never been in a hurricane, so, Category 5, Category 4, Category 3, it's all the same to me. But apparently it's getting less lethal.
Well, while it's, it's nice it's not threatening the United States right now, but the fact that it lingered over the Bahamas for as long as it did, for a day, I think it's still lingering. As far as I've heard, it's just dissipated somewhat.
The last time I checked, it was still over the Bahamas.
Just causing devastation. And, there's been a lot of talk about, which is wanting to do something for the Amazon. And, I think we should try, but, I just worry about messing with Mother Nature. And other people have talked about that. It's like trying to, stall a hurricane, and slowing it down over the ocean makes the hurricane stronger. So stalling it over an island with more water, it did make it stronger. Now it's it's broken down to a Category 3, but the devastation that it's caused the Bahamas. So it's that's our our big option, we always think when these things are happening, is like we're going to do some magic to like push that hurricane away. But if that hurricane comes later, it's going to be stronger because it's stalled out over the ocean, and it's going to be worse. Or if we push that hurricane somewhere else, well, that's somebody else's problem.
What if we nuke it? Can we
Well,
nuke
if we
it?
nuke it, that's really brilliant, because that would throw just tons and tons and tons of water up into the air, into the hurricane. I think it would backfire like a motherfucker, really.
Do you know what sarcasm is with an H?
No, could you tell us?
It's like that gulf between the person using sarcasm and the other person who doesn't get it. It's a sarcasm, sarcasm. And I think we just had an example of that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or was that like radio magic? You never know.
So I don't see anything at the top of the list for for news as far as the hurricane goes. So it must not be
Trump's golfing.
it must not be that big a deal, because it's further down. See photos of Hurricane Dorian's destruction in the Bahamas. So it sounds like Bahamas, those islands have the most damage.
So let me throw this other thing at you. Oh, well, maybe in a minute.
Submerging more than half of the nation underwater. And
I saw the satellite footage. Yes.
moving at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me.
Yeah.
Moving at a glacial pace, the storm has lingered over the Bahamas since Monday and isn't expected to clear the islands until midnight Tuesday. And I need to profess my ignorance right now. I don't know who the Bahamas belong to.
Oh yeah, I think we're looking that up earlier and got sidetracked. Yeah.
Kind of lame. I like to know about these things, but
At any rate, when the hurricane was headed to Puerto Rico, Trump was talking shit
Puerto Rico's
about
ours.
Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico's mayor, and talk about how much money we gave them, which we didn't. Lies, basically. And then it didn't head towards Puerto Rico and headed towards Florida. Now, this is what I keep telling people. It's like, I'm in a blue state. I'm in California. We're butting heads with Trump all the time. We do not have a president. The president of the United States only serves the red states and has declared the Democrats his enemy, along with the media and many other things. So we don't have a president over here. We're just kind of running all willy-nilly.
comprise an independent country that is part of the Commonwealth, having gained its independence from Britain in 1973.
Gained its independence, but still part of the Commonwealth.
U.S. tourists previously did not need a passport to travel to the Bahamas, but this changed in the early 2000s. So this says it's independent. And they were part of the British Commonwealth.
They were, so they're no longer a part of the
It
Commonwealth.
says they declared independence in 1973.
Wow. All right. So they're independent. Let's see. Yeah. So Trump.
They're screwed.
So when the hurricane turned towards Florida, Trump canceled his trip to Poland to meet with Polish leaders about whatever they were going to meet about, to come and monitor the hurricane, quote unquote. And he's been golfing ever since. Not in Florida this time, unfortunately, but more inland, but monitoring the hurricane.
So apparently he's got a golf course in Virginia, and that's where he is. And then
Another red state.
He said, I don't know if this already happened or if he said it was going to happen. He said he's going to watch what's going on from Camp David, but I don't know if that already came and went or if it's a new. I don't remember I don't remember what it said. Either he was supposed to, he said he was going to watch it from Camp David and didn't, or he's about to. I don't know.
Well, I think the hurricane's fucking with him. Just like I'm heading towards Florida. No, I'm not. Heading towards Texas. No, I'm not. Who knows?
Towards Poland. No, I'm not.
Towards Poland. Oh, good times. What else happened?
What else happened? Okay, so we
Let's
talked
see.
about
There
the
was
boat.
the boat.
Oh, the thing in the UK, Boris Johnson.
The Trump of the UK,
Boris Johnson. I think it's Johnson.
something. Yeah.
I want to look it up, but I think it's Boris Johnson. And once again, I must, Boris Johnson. I must profess my ignorance. I don't really know the details about the whole Brexit thing, but he was gonna do something about Brexit. And
From what I understand, Brexit means the UK exiting the European Union,
I know what
but
Brexit stands for,
but they
I
don't.
know
They
exactly what's all-
okay, so they don't have a deal to do that. They don't have the finances worked out. They don't have the how, the where, the when. They don't have any of the details worked out, and he wants to do it anyways, which is going to just send the country into chaos.
So what I understand happened is while he was speaking, some guy defected to the liberal side and then
Walked across the aisle and joined the other
across
side.
the aisle while he was speaking, and then everything just fell like a house of cards, and now he can't do what he was gonna do, and I think he's in deep doo-doo because people are talking about him, getting voted out, which I don't even know how he got voted in, but
Trump.
hopefully that's happening.
It's because of Trump. It's the Trump effect. Russia probably hacked their elections. Got a Trump in there. He's either a Russian asset or a unwilling dupe.
Yeah, so something bad happened to him.
So okay. So the guy crossing the aisles and joining the other party took away his majority, in which he was going to suspend Parliament. So, and the Queen said he could, even agreed that he could do it. I don't know what the Queen's even involved in that shit about, because she usually isn't. But he was going to suspend Parliament and just exit the European Union with no plan over everybody else's disapproval. What?
And I just have an
Announcement.
Hurricane Dorian is now a Category 2.
All right. It was a 3 last I heard, so it's breaking now.
It went from a 5 to a 4 to a 3. I'm sorry.
That's,
5 to a 4 to a 3 to a 2.
well, that's good. From what I understand, the longer they stay out over the water, the worse it is, usually. So, good.
Yeah.
Well, keep your sandbags in place until we know. But, yeah, it's been a tricky one, that particular hurricane. I know nothing of hurricanes. So that's your announcement?
My announcement was that it's been downgraded to a Category 2.
Okay. So the Trump of the UK guy, he lost his majority, so, kind of like, picture if Trump lost the Senate by like 1 vote.
Picture Mitch McConnell having a pair of balls and doing what this guy did, because that's basically what happened. And it's not going to happen here because our people are spineless. But somebody showed us how to have cojones.
And so the
Bullets.
Boris dude is trying to push for an early election to vote. I guess to vote that dude out, so he can't be a conservative anymore. They're going to kick him out of the party. I don't know how that works over there. I don't know how that would work over here. But it's just like Trump. And, sometimes fads start here and go over there. And sometimes fads start there, come over here. Rock and roll, punk rock, these kind of things. Maybe this is one of those fads that started there that could come over here. You know, we could get, you know, a couple people with guts or balls or whatever it takes to, you know, literally walk across the aisle and join the other party, or just, you know, vote against Trump. Just vote against Trump. Vote for impeachment. You know, these kinds of things. Maybe we can get some balls, because this Boris dude, from what I understand, it's pretty recent. It's only a few months ago he was voted into power. I'd been hearing about the guy, but I think he became prime minister or something.
How this keeps happening? Like, they have
Russia.
crazy bitches like winning all over Europe, and I don't get it.
Russia.
Yeah, okay,
Russia. They perfected their interference tactics. You know, if it worked here, it'll work everywhere.
Well, if it worked in the U.S., shit, we could do it anywhere.
We're much larger and more diverse, and you know, if you could affect that amount of thing by brainwashing the people, or I forget even what that's called, social engineering the people, that could work anywhere. You know, definitely work. Be easier in a smaller country. You know, less people. Yeah, happy stuff. Are you happy? Are we cheering you up? Are y'all having a good time? I know it's a happy show. When we have a good time, we make you laugh and stuff. But you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Wise men once said to me, you know, you gotta laugh, Mikey. I think it was my flaming thing. No, I was a big bloated dead guy that had been floating for a while.
I thought there was something they set on fire.
No, it was a big bloating dead guy floating off of the harbor on my watch, and I found him, and I tried to I grabbed a stick, try and like fish the guy closer to shore, and I popped him. Yeah, and he just kind of exploded and sank. No, he was in the water, but he kind of he kind of popped and sank.
We should change the subject.
Well, we're already too deep down the rabbit hole to just fucking jump out. We got to climb out. So, back to the point of the subject. My partner grabs me by the shoulders, gets up in my face, and shakes me and says, "You gotta laugh, Mikey. You gotta laugh, or this shit'll kill you." And those are words I take to the grave. Beyond that job, that's how. Fuck yeah, that's how I get through our fucking marriage. I don't even know if you heard her, but yeah, fuck it. That's how I get through most things, man. You gotta fucking find a way to laugh, find some twisted fucking humor within that fucking thing. And even though you might get in trouble for it later, people might be mad at you for, laughing about that. Fucking laugh anyways. You're gonna have a fucking heart attack. You're gonna have tumors, man. Can't hold that shit in. You gotta just find something to laugh about. And yeah. Wife's giving me looks. You're listening to Widdershins, radio for your spiritual side. Do you feel spiritual now? Are you uplifted, enlightened? Because I'm sure we promised to, just spread white light all over the place for you and give you pink cotton candy. Let's see. I had a story there. Oh, that's what I was going to read. I had a couple of them, but this one, if I can find the fucking thing. Oh dear, what did I do? Looking for my story. This one was just stupid. Harry Potter books taken off shelves at a Catholic school over risk of conjuring evil spirits. The The curses and spells used in the books are actual curses, a school pastor reportedly wrote in an email explaining the decision. Okay, well, all right, they're in Latin. Latin's one of those dead languages that, maybe some of us used to learn in school. I doubt they do anymore. But it is one of those dead languages that's really good for magic if you know Latin. So I'll give him that at least. Father Reheal, a pastor at St. Edward's School, made the decision over the summer to remove the books from the library, according to NBC affiliates, WSMV in Nashville. These books represent magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact a clever deception, Rehill wrote in an email. According to the Tunisian, the curses and spells used in the books are actual curses and spells, which when read by a human being, risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text. Moo-ha-ha. The Tennessean reports that Rehill said he discussed the issue with the exorcists both in Rome and the U.S. In an email to parents, the superintendent for Catholic schools in the Diocese of Nashville said the Harry Potter books were never part of the curriculum, and students can still read them at school if they bring copies from home. The books just won't be available in the library. Superintendent Rebecca Hamill also said Rehill decided the books were not appropriate for a variety of reasons, and said the decision was made for the well-being of students. The 7-book Harry Potter series that was published in 1997 has long been a source of controversy, particularly among some religious institutions. That's from NBC News. Fascinatingly ridiculous pile of crap. I can't believe that horse left the gate so long ago. My goodness, I can't believe they're even gonna try and make that argument. Harry Potter, honey, Harry Potter. They're removing Harry Potter books. Right. I guess it's a Catholic school, so not entirely hugely shocking, but yeah. But Harry freaking Potter books.
What country is it in?
Tennessee.
Well,
I don't know if you heard the wife. She said, "What country is it in?" Tennessee. It's another country. I've seen it on a map. It says there be dragons.
and we know some really
And so-
shitty people who live in Tennessee.
Who we know in Tennessee? Shitty people. Oh, Nashville. Yeah, I guess that's Nashville. Huh. All right, I'm going to find my other story and play you at least some more Bad Religion.
It's probably time to play some tunes if you want.
Whoa, get out of my head, woman.
Hey brother Christian with your high and mighty errand, your actions speak so loud I can't hear a word you're saying. Hey sister bleeding heart with all of your compassion, your labors do the hurt but can't assuage temptation. Hey man of science with your perfect rules of measure, can you improve this place with the data that you gather? Hey mother mercy, can your lungs bear fruit forever? Is your fecundity a tremble or a treasure? And I wanna conquer the world, give all the idiots a brand new religion, put an end to poverty, uncleanliness and toil, promote equality in all of my decisions with a quick wink of the eye, and God you must be joking. precious stones to fuel your pulpy conflagrations. And I wanna conquer the world, give all the idiots a brand new religion, put an end to poverty and cleanliness and toil, promote equality in all of my decisions. I want to conquer the world, expose the culprits and beat them to the children, do away with their pollution and then I'll save the whales. We'll have peace on earth and global communion. I want to conquer the world. I want to conquer the world. I want to conquer the world. I want to conquer the world.
Where they look for the missing link. There's no missing link. They'll never find the missing link. There's no missing link. We're not something you can figure out with an equation. We are the genetic mutation. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Darwin tried explaining it. Darwin did the best he could. Evolution, pretty theory, but how could Darwin know that aliens came and fucked the monkey? They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. How else explain fax machine? How else explain computer enhancement? How else explain fiber optics? How else explain Mozart? We did not belong here. This planet was a terrarium, intergalactic broken home. Have to go to outer space and one day find our daddy. How else explain pay at the pump?
Dan Byrne on Widdershins Radio. Oh yeah. I was going to tell y'all about the thing.
What thing?
The thing.
What thing?
The Mile High thing.
Oh, the gala.
The Mile High Conjure
Gala.
Gala is coming the 9th to the 11th of November, I believe. The Mile High Conjure Gala is one-of-a-kind event in Denver, Colorado that brings together esteemed teachers and elders for a weekend, opening the world of conjure to you. This year's presenters, hell of a list: Candelo Cambisa, Professor Charles Porterfield, Brother Moses, Michelle Jackson, Beverly Smith, Ifa Abeyu, Yayi Joycey, Hudu Sen Moise. Got to get over to conjuregala.com. I always screw it up. I think it's conjuregala.com. Let me just make sure. Yeah, conjuregala.com, and get your tickets. It's coming up, man. It's September now. It's right around the corner.
It's coming up in like 2 months.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. Get your tickets, man. Get your tickets. Now this one. Oh, this one, brothers and sisters, boys and girls. From Yahoo News. September 3rd, 2019, citing Christian belief. Mississippi event hall refuses service to interracial couple. A Mississippi event hall has come under fire after an employee cited, quote, our Christian race and yes, our Christian race, end quote, and quote, our Christian belief, end quote, as reasons why it refused to allow a wedding for an interracial couple. LaKimbra Welch told Deep South Voice magazine on Sunday that she drove to Boone's Camp Event Hall in Booneville after the venue told her brother via Facebook that he wouldn't be allowed to hold his upcoming nuptials there because of the company's, quote, beliefs.
Okay, wait. I missed the whole first part. Did you say it was due to religion or due to race?
Well, they're an interracial couple, okay, and this Christian is citing Christian belief, but also refers to Christians as a race.
I know, but
so, yeah, it's just complicated. Yeah.
Sexual discrimination or racial?
Racial. So it's not a same-sex couple, it's an interracial couple.
Not that either one is
No, but we're just trying to keep our bigotry in context here. Welch said she wanted to hear firsthand why her brother, who is black and engaged to a white woman, had been rebuffed by the venue. Welch said she was horrified when a company employee explained in a video filmed by Welch and posted on Facebook. A woman identified as someone who worked at the event hall said that the venue did not allow LGBTQ or interracial couples to host weddings there. First of all, there's a quote, we don't allow gay weddings or mixed race because of our Christian race. I mean, our Christian belief, the woman is heard telling Welch in the clip. Okay, we are Christians as well, Welch responds. So, what in... the interracial couple woman responds. So what in the Bible tells you that? The woman interrupts, well, I don't want to argue my faith. We just don't participate and choose not to. The video...
So it's got nothing to do with faith if she can't, bring up any scripture or anything that makes it not okay for them to host interracial marriages.
The thing that
there is nothing.
The thing that I will rant about quite virulently after the story. The video quickly went viral amid the ensuing backlash. Boone's Camp Event Hall deleted its Facebook page before reinstating it on Sunday. Newsweek reported. The owner of the venue then posted an apology to Facebook, explaining that they had met with their pastor and discovered no Bible passage forbidding interracial marriage.
I'm psychic. I knew there Bible. I knew it.
You're psychic? No.
I knew it.
You were a Catholic schoolgirl.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, there's that
I
too.
went to
It's
Catholic
ingrained.
school for 6 years, so I read the Bible, motherfuckers, and I
They
know.
fed
there's
you
nothing
plenty of Bible, and oh god damn it, it said read more, and it just takes me to like Huffington Post, like, well. It didn't let me. Well, it took me to Huffington Post page if I want to scroll forever and find a goddamn story. I know I shouldn't have to. It's bad coding, man. Bad fucking coding. Huffington Post people. You think you could, get better staff? I don't fucking know, man. Let me see.
You know what? They don't have any copy editors.
We know they don't have any copy editors. About blank. Well, I don't want to know about blank. Oh, don't fucking tell me about blank. I was reading a goddamn story. A refill?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to try continuing reading on HuffPost again and see if that actually does anything. All right, well, that's the end of the goddamn story, But here's the fucking thing. Oh, god damn it. Now the story popped up. All right, hold on. Before I rant, let me see. Okay, this revelation, the one that there's nothing in the Bible preventing interracial marriage, was apparently quite surprising for the author, who referenced being taught that races should remain separate while growing up. Newsweek wrote, paraphrasing the Facebook apologies, as of early Tuesday, the venue's Facebook page appears to have again been removed. The city of Boonville issued a statement on Monday saying, Boonville, dude, literally Boonville.
Listen, there's a Boonville in California. Is that the Boonville, or is this in another state?
Well,
Is that the one we're asking what country
fucking
it's in?
thing. I thought it was Tennessee. Yeah. It's
So
Tennessee.
there's a Boonville in Tennessee.
There's a Boonville in Tennessee,
That was
apparently.
just here.
No, they wherever they have boonies.
Boonville inside each and every one of us.
Yeah, like they just had a shooting in Odessa. That wasn't Ukraine.
No.
Yeah, all right. The city of Boonville issued a statement Monday saying it does not discriminate on the basis of race, religion, gender, age, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, or military status. The city of Boonville mayor and board of aldermen do not condone or approve these types of discriminatory policies, the statement said. As Deep South Voice noted, Mississippi. That's even worse. Mississippi
is
Mississippi.
worse that there ever was.
Yeah. Mississippi lawmakers
Anyways.
passed a religious freedom law in 2016 that allows businesses to refuse service to LGBTQ people on the basis of religious belief.
One more reason why Mississippi sucks ass.
The law explicitly mentions gender and sexual orientation, but not race. So, they were able to exclude it from that law, which I would, I'd have to go to Mississippi to argue that, but there's nothing in the Bible. Yeah, nothing in the Bible to support, the positions against homosexuality that these people hold. Nothing in the Bible to support the sober, chaste lifestyle of Christians. That's not in the Bible, though they may make priests do that kind of thing, allegedly, when they're not fucking little boys.
Yeah, so what do priests do?
Yeah.
They have to take it out on somebody.
Yeah, exactly. But
They're horny motherfuckers, those Catholics.
and that's probably one of the reasons why they're so fucking horny is they're not allowed to get married or get laid or anything like that, and they gotta hang out around all these nuns. They might have fetishes, nun fetishes, and they gotta just kind of deal and the nun porn. There it is. And yeah, God, the imagery just lost me for a minute there. Any rate, these Christians, they make up shit that's in the Bible to support their bigotry. They always have. They twist lines out of context to be used against my people, witches. And then some, kings, King James, specifically twisted the words in his rewrites of the Bible. Don't even get me started on how you let a fucking king write the fucking Bible for you. Yeah.
Yeah, why isn't there any outrage?
There's no outrage. It's like, okay, of course we're supposed to bow and submit and, give unto Caesar what is Caesar. A king wrote the fucking Bible that we use, and previous to that it did not say, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. It said, thou shalt not suffer a poisoner to live. And witch, all throughout the Bible, at least prior to that time, was the word wise. And whenever you saw the word wise, it was like a witch, a sorcerer, a mystic of some kind, doing the same kind of shit that we all fucking do. No, it's twisted. So, some of the originators of the Bible twisted the language. So I guess it's par for the course that their people should twist it around. That they've twisted around religious rights to mean that they can discriminate against LGBTQ people. It worries me. Well, and not just because the majority of our friends.
It's okay to discriminate against LGBTQ.
Absolutely. While saying he's a hero to LGBTQ people. But not just because I have so many friends that are of those persuasions. Probably more than the heterosexual persuasions, really, because I'm a witch, and that's, the dominant factor. But it concerns me not just for them. I'm concerned for them, but then I'm concerned for me after that. And I need to speak up against that now. Otherwise, it'd be like that whole thing, they came for the homosexuals. I wanted the homosexuals, so I didn't say anything. It's like, I don't want to wait till that point when they say that it's against their religious rights or be a violation of their religious rights for them to be forced to suffer a witch to live. Because that is in the Bible, at least post King James. The things about gays, no, not really. You really got to twist that. The stuff about, same-sex couples, no. The stuff about race, no. No. The people that originated the Bible, even the Jews of that region, were of the brown-skinned persuasion. No. Race wasn't in there. None of that shit was in there. The bigotry is not in there. It's like it's twisted around and extrapolated, and you got to do mental gymnastics to find it in the fucking Bible. But that's the thing with the Bible. You can read it a million different fucking ways. It's going to tell you a million different fucking things, and probably going to find a way to justify whatever you want to justify in the damn contradictory fucking unscholarly book that it is. Maybe because we're trying to read it literally. That's always been my problem. It's a metaphorical book. It needs to be read in a different context than we tend to read it in now. But I'm not going to go on and on about that. But continually, Christians want to shove these morals down our fucking throat that aren't in the Bible. They aren't in the Bible. They talk, about being chaste before marriage and blah 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 blah. Being
Chased by who?
Chased by being sober, even though Jesus is, over there turning water into wine. There's nothing about that in the Bible. What is in the Bible is a man's right to rape a woman that's out unaccompanied by a male. And if he should find that she's married after he rapes her, he's supposed to kill her. So these are the kind of morals in the Bible, and I could go on and on and on. I remember when I first read When God Was a Woman, it broke down all of these wonderful Bible passages that nobody talks about that are still in the fucking Bible. Morals? Morals? I'm sorry. That ship has sailed. That particular religion, no. You never get to fucking talk about morals to me ever fucking again. Widdershins will be back. course, that's The Damned on Widdershins Radio. Is it still going? Yeah. Yeah.
You said the damn.
Well, like the other day, not the other day, just a couple minutes ago, I was talking about this shit.
The other day.
This shit that the Christians make up. It was like here at Hex Fest this year. Yeah, these. Yeah, I'm working on it. We had these Catholics that protested Hex Fest, and one of the things that they were offended about is that Hex Fest was being held on a place that was formerly a convent.
And that they held it there on purpose, which has nothing to do with anything.
Like, you can't ever use the land that was once used by church people for anything. They made it up.
Well,
but
the reason they used the hotel that they used is because it has a bunch of conference rooms where you could have an event such as Hex Fest, where they have several different events going on at the same time in the same place. You have to have separate conference rooms, and that's why they had it there.
So there was this video that the Catholic Splinter Church group put out. Now I'll play you part of it because it's funny as fuck. Because they mentioned one other person's workshop and three of mine.
All of yours.
And so let me just play you this thing that happened. When I finally went to Hex Fest, this is what happened. I didn't even get a T-shirt. I meant to get a T-shirt. Come on, bitch, play.
Under the shadow of St. Louis Cathedral and other locations, faithful Catholics protest the hell-inspired event called Hex Fest, which gathers practitioners of witchcraft, voodoo, and the occult from New Orleans and from around the world at the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, at the former convent of the Sisters of the Holy Family, an order founded by Venerable Henriette de Lille. This is a major reason the Hex Fest is held where it is. It pains us to see our Catholic heritage trampled upon by such practices. In rooms still named after St. Joseph, St. Anne, and St. Mary, occult practices are being promoted, and our Catholic heritage is profaned by the dark occult movement that offends God and wants to dethrone Him in our culture. Conferences during the event include To Hell and Back, Descending to the Dark Goddess, Magical Warfare, Laying Plans, Magical Warfare, Preparing for Battle, and Magical Warfare, Crush the Enemy. These are just a few examples of topics being covered at the Hex Fest.
Okay.
So
That's enough.
Those three, the ones with the really cool sounding names: Magical Warfare, Laying Plans, Magical Warfare, Crush the Enemy. That was my honey's classes.
That was me. All of my workshops got plugged by the Catholics, and I want to find this guy, just hire him to just walk around next to me and just keep saying, "Crush the enemy." It's just like a kind of a motivational, kind of like a coach. Just walk around behind me. I was like, "Crush the enemy. Crush the enemy," all fucking day long, man. I will get so much accomplished. Oh my God, I love that guy. Even though we
need to call them up and ask them, like, where'd you hire that dude? Like the voiceover commercial dude.
That was fucking great. But like this, so the fact that people of another religious belief would hold an event on ground once owned by the church would be trampling on their Catholic heritage. It amuses me. It amuses me. Now, I know it was the Romans that first came up with the idea, but I'm pretty sure Rome was becoming rather Christianized by then. But they came up with the idea, and the church, took it all across Europe, of cutting down people's sacred groves and building churches on them, trampling their pagan heritage. I mean, literally trampling their pagan heritage, cutting down their trees, maybe even using the wood to build the fucking churches sometimes. But literally, Catholicism trampled on people's heritage. I mean, that's pretty much what they did. Be it witches, pagans, fucking Muslims, that's what they did, and carried a Bible. But they more, spent time, conquering the earth and converting people at sword point to their God, than spending time in actual church. I would say. I mean, I have no direct statistics to back me up, but a general overview of history tends to point me in that direction. They spent more of their time conquering everybody else than doing anything for their God. But they did that by saying that's what their God wanted. The Catholics here, I don't know, I didn't play all of it, but, they talked about, the offense upon their God. And at one point, what are they? They're consoling Jesus, right?
Are they consoling Jesus?
Yeah, there was something like they were consoling Jesus for the grievous offenses of the witches. Like they had to console Jesus. Now,
call me crazy, but I kind of think, my understanding of the guy is that he probably likes us more than he likes them.
And he'd have bigger worries on his plate. It's like, to console Jesus, if Jesus existed, Jesus been through a whole lot. Console him for the cross.
Got no time for their crap.
Exactly. Jesus been through some shit. If again, if he exists.
And I think he does exist.
Yeah, but they talk a great deal about the offense of their God, those who have offended God, and it's like
I love how they get to decide what constitutes an offense. That's my favorite part, when these people speak for God and say, God hates this is an insult, this is an affront, God thinks you should, like, who the fuck are you, dude? Who the fuck are you? I'm sure God said not to rape little boys.
Well, let's take it to the way, way back, where I'm sure I'll piss off some people. The book in question that causes all these problems was written by a bunch of dudes. And in the book, the dudes wrote that that God has given them dominion over women, and that they should, do what the man says, blah 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 blah, be a fucking little sheep, because God said that. The men wrote that in the book because God said it. Okay, so then God said that those particular men of that particular race had a divine claim to a very fought over piece of land in the Middle East. And that God said that that was their holy land, and that they were the chosen people of God. They wrote that, those dudes wrote that in that book because God told them to. So, as long as we believe that God told them to, story's fine. As soon as we don't believe that God told them to, well, then it all kind of unravels. these dudes wrote a book where they have all the power and get all the stuff because God said so. And they're going to put that out as the Word of God. And then we're going to now argue about the Word of God and how offended God is and how we have to avenge the offenses upon that God. And that God has never said shit. Unless we believe Moses. Who was the guy that was going to sacrifice his kid? My Bible's kind of shaky. The guy was going to sacrifice his kid, then God just said, "Oh, just kidding. I was just testing your faith." No. Yeah. He
Abraham
might be
sacrifice his kid.
Abraham. See, the Catholic schoolgirl got it. Yeah. So, unless we believe them, nobody's heard God speak. Now, granted the confusion that can happen by some humans writing a book that is allegedly the Word of God and then distributing that book and teaching about that book, the confusion, the wars that have come about from just that. A God that had anything to say would bellow it from the heavens. It would be like the horn or the horn of Gabriel. Everybody would fucking hear it. God would say, "Y'all are fucking up. Knock it off. Don't make me come down there." Like that.
Don't make me open a can of whoop ass on
Don't make
you.
me open a can of whoop ass. But so far, God hasn't opened a can of whoop ass. He hasn't opened a can. The only time he ever opened a can of whoop ass.
I think climate change is God's can of whoop ass.
The only time he ever opened a can of whoop ass was in the book that those dudes wrote. And he opened a can of whoop ass on their enemies. The enemies of those dudes who wrote the book. It's the Word of God. You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm fucking going? I would do that. Fucker, hey. If I like that Bad Religion song, man. I want to conquer the world and give the idiots a brand new religion. Well, shit, yeah. I would be head of that fucking religion. I'd be God. Absolute fucking power. If I wrote that fucking religion, why would you do it any other way? But I'm not doing that. So, at any rate, yeah.
Did you just go off on some tangent?
I went on some tangent about the Bible and the dudes who wrote the Bible.
I still had to answer everything, all the factual stuff for you.
Yeah, you had to answer some stuff. So it's a good thing you earn your keep
It's a
sitting
good
over
thing
there.
I'm here.
Well, you can't just sit there and look
Grateful
pretty.
for me on so many levels.
Yeah, we can't just sit there and look pretty on the radio. They don't know.
Sure can.
Well, you do, but they don't know because it's radio. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I'm so much more than that.
So your beauty translates into radio.
To the smart people.
You heard it there on Widdershins Radio. And you gotta follow Widdershins Radio. Whether you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio or Tumblr. I think we're on SoundCloud. Oh, God. I don't even know half of the places where we're broadcasting. I set them and forget them, I say. But they all have their follow or their subscribe or something. Won't help you on the YouTube broadcast because I think that's a rebroadcast. I haven't looked, but I think that posts after the show. I actually should look because it's kind of important. But a follow button. A follow, subscribe, whatever you got, because we here at Widdershins, we're only giving you just the tip of our package. We've been teasing you people for a couple years now. We could go 3 hours a day, unlimited times per day. We could go 24 hours. If we suddenly just had nothing to do for a day or something, and really
We're ever on a
hard on to do that. We could. If we're ever on like
Never gonna happen.
a drug-fueled
Never gonna happen.
podcasting
In case we
binge,
are.
but we could. Or if there's news that happens, something going on, we have the Spreaker app on.
If we have some sort of
On our
national
phone.
emergency or something, we'll be here.
Yeah, we've done that before. We've gone on the air for that kind of thing. But we got the Spreaker app in my phone. We could be on the scene with stuff going on, and you won't know. You won't know until you check the webpage again because you didn't follow. You thought you were too good to follow. You thought you were too good to subscribe.
Not knowing.
Do you really want to go through your life not knowing? In ignorance? Because, once you know something, you can never unknow it. You can only spend the rest of your life shrieking in horror, wishing you never knew it.
Yeah.
You can't unknow it.
Can't.
Can't.
Just can't unknow.
Can't unknow.
You can't unsee. You can't unknow.
Can't unsee, can't unknow.
So,
Yeah.
go on with your
I
bad
was
stuff.
trying to remember if I started the oven.
What?
I was making something for the boy, and I can't remember if I actually turned it on.
The oven?
Yeah, so I was just off in my head, thinking dad stuff. Let's see. And you can find us on Facebook at Widdershins Radio. You can also email us at widdershinsradio@gmail.com. I never checked the damn mail. I'll check it right now. I'm on the air just to make sure. Gmail. Gmail. My slow ass fucking internet connection. Hell. No, not that account. I want Widdershins Radio. I'm going to check and see if we have any email from last time. Not really. Ooh, I got junk mail from Target. I don't even know how they even got that. Ooh, a YouTube copyright claim was created. Oh, suck it. Receipt from Apple. Oh, God. That's still not the right account. You motherfuckers. I said Widdershins Radio. Jesus. All right. Well, at any rate, widdershinsradio@gmail.com. You want us to plug something? You got an event coming up? Send it to us. I gotta get on my friends, man. I have so many friends with so many events, and they don't send them to me. Expect me to just follow all of their pages and keep track of this shit. I can't keep track of all this shit. Oh my God. Let's see. I had another story. Where was it? Citing Christian beliefs. This one will be fun to watch happen. I wish them all the luck in the world, but August 30th, 2019, Salem's Temple of Witch...
Already happened.
Yeah, I know.
So you're reading news.
Well, the news happened
After
on
it happened. Okay.
August
Okay.
30th
All right.
is when it happened.
Well, you were saying that you're going to announce events, and then all of a sudden you say August 30th.
Well, I know.
You're going to announce an event that already happened.
Can you please stand by? And you'll see why it hasn't happened. The headline: Salem's Temple of Witchcraft hopes to build community center. So that will be the thing that'll be fun to watch happen.
So the point is that you are reading the news and not announcing an upcoming event.
Yes.
So we were both right.
Very nice.
Can you just step off your high horse for a second?
You just step off the mic for a second. Let me read a story. Salem, the Temple of Witchcraft at 49 North Policy Street, presented plans for a new community center before Salem Planning Board Tuesday night. Co-founder and High Priest Christopher Penzak presented the site plan to the board, proposing a 5,700 square foot barn be demolished and rebuilt into a community center where witches would gather for 9 of their main religious holidays throughout the year and similar events. On the property right now is a barn, and long-term goal has always been to convert the barn into a community center, Penzak told the union leader. Penzak said it was going to be It was not going to be cost effective to renovate the existing barn up to code. The plan was to get town approval, bids from contractors, and finalized plan that they can bring to the community members for a capital fundraising effort. It was very important for us to keep New England barn look for what we were doing, Penzak said. He said they won't know how much it will cost until they get estimates from the contractors. A 6,666 and 1 square foot house, which has a classroom, meeting space, and
6,666 square feet.
661. 6,661.
So it's close to the beast.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a neighbor of the beast, least. Down the street. Meeting
That's
place.
not the address.
Has an administrative office on the first floor and residential area for Penzak. On the second floor, it will not be changed. He's got himself a house in there. All right. Parking will need to be increased. Blah, blah, blah. The board also asked questions about parking, traffic, street visibility, which Penzak will have to address. Board steered clear of any discussion about temple's activities. Religious institutions are protected by federal law. Planning board can't get involved in whether it's a religion or not, Moldoff said. The planning board is not really allowed to get into that. And they did not get into that. Founded in 1998, the temple bought the 123-year-old house for $416,000 in 2012, according to town records. The school has about 250 students online and about 20 in person presently. The program lasts for 1 year. While their ritual gatherings have remained a similar size over the past 7 years, the online class has grown and continues to grow, Penzak said. 8 of the major witch holidays are observed on the closest Saturdays to the equinoxes, solstices, and cross-quarter days. The 9th holiday takes place August 13th each year. Hey! They do that one. All right. Hey, nice. In the current plans, the rebuilt barn would have top capacity of 100 people, but Penzak said would likely fit closer to 50 to 75 because the groups will gather in a circle. All right, well, it's interesting, but I wish them all the luck in the world. Anybody that's going to have a pagan community center or witch community center, form a community, what have you. But it ain't all white light and pink cotton candy, kids. A community is like a community. You know, you have one out there around you. And in that community, there's good people and there's bad people.
Yep.
There's people
like everywhere else. Yeah. Just because they're witches doesn't make them good people.
Yeah. There's people you trust, people you don't trust, people you let in your house, people you don't let in your house. You don't let everybody in your fucking community just fucking come in and use your toilet. Same thing. The witch community. It's like not everybody is your friend. No, we should be. We should be tight.
Some of the most foul people I've ever met in my life come from the witch community. I didn't have any problems until I met you.
Yeah. Well, most of my life in witch communities, I never had any problems either because we recognized that...
So you met me?
No, before that. We recognized back in my day that the church was our adversary and it was looking for any excuse it could to put us to death. And that somehow brought us together.
Yes. Having a common enemy is the most cohesive act that you can possibly have between human beings.
Yep. And now we try and be inclusive of the people whose book says that we should be killed. And we try and, make allowances for that. And you can be a Christian and a witch. These kinds of things. And it kind of muddies the water. There is no them to the us. Now there is no us. There used to be an us and a them. When we cease to recognize them, us dwindled. And now we are scattered all over the place. Disconnected pagans and Wiccans and neo-pagans and magic users of other kinds. Totally disconnected, because that was unfortunately the thing that bound us together. Unfortunately, that's human nature. And without a them, there's never an us. If you don't define a them, you will have no us. We need to recognize them. In this day and age, they are the most dangerous they've ever been to us. They could slaughter us on a mass scale this time. And it's not that much of a stretch in the world we live in today. And I know I'm cheering you up again. That's what they always say, man. Uncle Birch, he's a cheery motherfucker. He never just fails to just lift me up.
That's why I hooked up with him.
Absolutely. It just never fails to just, bring love and light into my life.
You brought so much joy into my world. I can't even thank you enough.
I saw this woman the other day on one of the new witch sites that I spend way too much time on, and she was saying, is this a page where people will talk about curses and hexes and black magic? Because I am on a path of I'm on a path of love and light, and I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to see that in my feed. So I replied. I said, will this page allow me to uphold my delusion that Earth is a place of peace and love? Like, if you want to be that, you want to. Yeah, I understand. What you focus on is what you bring into your life. Laws of attraction. I understand. We don't want to focus too much on that. But if you've focused so much on the good side that you think that the world is a place of love and light, I mean, they exist, sure. But if you think that that's what the world is running on, we have nothing to say to each other. Man, that's a person really needs to fix their alignment. Their alignment, you can hear them skidding all the way down the fucking freeway, man. I'll even skid more.
Pet Boys or something.
Manny, Mo, and Jack, man. Yeah. They know what I'm after.
They know what you're after.
Yeah, baby.
You guys are all after the same thing.
Oh, Jesus. Widdershins Radio. I don't know if I have. Kind of thought I had another story, but I'm not sure. Let me look.
You have so many stories.
There's a bitch citing Christian belief, the Harry Potter books, and a bunch of crap, and a bunch of crap, and a bunch of crap. Yeah, man.
There's always some issue with the Harry Potter books.
Well, it was the same issue that I read before, but that story is still open, so yeah. All right, sorry you read that one. Well, clearly they don't, and that's part of the problem. Sure, that's part of always been the problem with the Christian types. They don't have enough life. They're always up in somebody's business. They're always watching what their neighbor's doing and judging them, even though clearly Jesus had something to say about that, man. Judging your neighbor, that kind of thing. But it's part of the problem. If Christians Christians just followed Jesus, I doubt I'd have a problem with any of them. We would have never had a problem with any of them in the Middle Ages had they done that. They're kind of trying to hold on to their old God and the new God. And the new God was supposed to, sweep away all the doings of the old God. And it was supposed to just all be about Jesus after that. Because the Old Testament is, about penalty and sin and damnation and blah. And Jesus, if he existed, was about, that love and light shit that you're talking about right there. But the people running a religion based on his name are not love and light. They're not following love and light at fucking all. So, again, it's that other problem. People don't read. I think that's it. I think, that's always been the reason for church to exist. It's like you have the Bible. You could just read it and, maybe derive your own message from it, but you're not going to read it. So you're going to go to church on Sunday where the priest or the pastor is going to read to you from the Bible and explain to you what it means, rather than you deriving your own meaning because you don't want to read. You Christians, at least, and half of society. People base their lives off of a headline and never read the fucking story. You read the headline at the beginning of the verse and didn't read the story in the fucking Bible. What you got?
Nothing.
You got nothing?
No.
So you didn't read. And the majority of the worst shit that comes up from Christians allegedly supporting their Bible, supporting their God, is shit that's not in the Bible. Like the story we read about the woman and the same-sex couple. It's like, she didn't read her fucking Bible. And somehow she thought that one of her pastors read her something in the Bible that said that. I don't know. Somewhere she got that impression. Maybe the pastor just backpedaled after the story went viral. I don't know. But, yeah. People just make this shit up to support their own bigotry. Now, there is something to that with the God of that particular religion. He was judgmental and jealous and vengeful, or at least that's how the white men or the men that wrote the story wrote it. He was that way, but I don't know. As a witch, I was always taught that a god, goddess, whatever you got, that's out there, that's in you, however you want to tell that scenario, should be worth looking up to, should be better than you. I was taught that God is a perfected version of myself. It's my job to try and reach that again and become that again. That's my job as a spirit, as a soul. Now, if I can overcome things like, I don't know, jealousy and rage and vengeance and that kind of stuff, I mean, I have my moments. But if I can overcome those things and God can't, if God can't evolve past those things, that's not a God. If I can be better in this lifetime than my Creator, that is not my Creator. That is somebody masquerading as my Creator, and then the God of the Bible I would have to call out. That God is not better than me. And I would hope not better than most people. I would hope most people are above that kind of crap. But that's just me. I think we're going to play you some tunes. We got no news. And I have ranted and ranted and ranted. And thank you for joining us on Widdershins. We're here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And any damn time we want. Our archives are always there. I'm probably going to have to buy a bigger package soon just to store all of our goddamn archives. So check them out. Share them with your friends, man. You've got to help us stretch our tendrils farther. Widdershins.
For hip-hop and R&B playing them, ask why. In fact, where are those stations today? Somebody better ask somebody that. The people that's most affected by this war are the so-called hip-hop generation.
The Army is the best kept secret in the world. And every soldier gets his or her own private room. You can forget that old brown boot image of the Army. It's a job like anything else. You'd love it. All the soldiers do.
I remember how it started, remember the time I was watching Rap City about 8:45. Commercial said the military giving money for school. Caught the bus up to my campus, they were signing recruits. And met this dude named Diablo, was some kind of vet. He explained the situation, told me what to expect. He said,
we'll help you pay for college and train you for work.
Said I could take computer classes and could quit if I want. But best of all was the fact that I'd have my own shit. I have my own space and have my own place to kick it. On top of that, I travel and visit the world. Hell, Diablo said the women overseas was the pearl. Didn't even call my girl. Let's get it on for show. Signed my name, took some tests, and I was out of the door. A true soldier for America, ready to go. On the road, a vacation will be good for the soul. Showed up at basic training, but what a mistake. Cause this motherfucker yelling at me all in my face. In this dirty ass latrine, 50 men in a room, running laps up in the mud at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm scrubbing toilets, doing laundry, and feeling the pain. If I didn't know no better, I think boy was my name. Same bullshit line, so many bit for me. Got a nigga twisted up in this illusion of freedom. Fuck this shit, I'm out tomorrow, made up my mind. Everything Diablo said I'm finding out was a lie. That's when my unit got the call. The commander-in-chief wanted ground troop assignments, keeping peace in the east. What a relief. I'm thinking finally something new. Shipped us off and 20 hours later we was en route. Touchdown around 11. The desert was brutal. Then the ground split and caught us by surprise from the shooting. Surreal, seen him blow the spine out his back. In the minefield, we was reeling from the attack. Seen the MO's hand upon the receiver, still attached with no arm on it, set off the beacon. Then I mashed through the first truck, blood and guts splashing my face. Cutting kids down, couldn't have been no older than 8. What the fuck is going on? Who we fighting and why? Killing kids, killing killers, who the fuck is supplying? I'm crying out for protection, but none of it came. So I dumped in all directions till the heater was drained. But that night vision shit wasn't helping us win. Caught around a friendly fire, but it wasn't so friendly, we simply got lucky. Headed back to the base, seen a soldier rape a woman, shot her dead in the face. Guts stuck to my clothes, body parts galore. If this a peacekeeping mission, I ain't ready for war. And now I'm back home bitter and sick and contagious. And I'm knowing we some bullies, that's why everyone hate us. Still broke in a motherfucker, niggas is starving. And that job training shit is only good for the army. I guess I should've been a CO and kept up a file. Should've listened when my homie said we murder for oil. Now I'm fucking with this wheelchair, ain't nothing the same. And I'm knowing confrontations more than video games. War is pain.
He's soliciting on his town-bound foes, the raiding some lonesome episode. Important well beating upper class grade, no walking body check with the same host. The opposite services, exploitation of his body, his work. Public people want fire breaks up off his nerve, and he lays suffices his eye.
Of all the money that e'er I had, I've spent it in good company. And of all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, was done to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memories now I cannot recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise while you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town that surely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks and ruby lips, she alone has my heart in thrall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise while you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call.
Good night and joy be with